Hello, everyone. Here I have a nummy little Gigi here. I really hope it's working. I'm not exactly tech savvy, so I don't know what I'm doing. I was motivated and inspired from a recent podcast that I did with the fellows at Limelight. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, check it out on YouTube. But today, as you can tell from the title, we're going to talk about the psychology of being hot. So I'm not talking about hot solely in the traditional sense of physical attractiveness, facial symmetry, and proportionalism. I'm also talking about attractiveness from the inside and out, and we'll chat a little bit about the psychology behind that. But to get started, let's talk about the dark side of being physically attractive. Now, perhaps you've been objectified. Maybe from a very young age, you started to get attention that made you a little uncomfortable that you didn't fully understand. Now, sometimes this can happen, especially for females, where they're objectified or sexualized in a way that is a little bit uncomfortable from a very young age, if perhaps they develop earlier than their peers, or if they have more extenuated features in terms of body shape or fuller lips or bigger eyes. Have you ever wondered the psychology of the selfie itself? Essentially, that angle that we take, it shows more of the whites of our eyes, which primitively, in terms of our animal instincts, make us look more docile and submissive. And so this is why subconsciously we naturally kind of hold the camera at that angle and think we look more attractive and are going to be perceived in a certain light because that is how anyone looking at us is wired to kind of take us in, is to then have a certain idea or concept about our physical appearance and thus our personality hiding behind that physical appearance. So the dark side is sometimes you're going to be objectified, you're going to attract attention that you don't necessarily like or want. It can also put you into dangerous situations if people maybe approach you in a manner that you're not fully comfortable with. Statistically speaking, women who, as I mentioned, develop earlier also have reported history of more boundary violations. So we're talking about a little bit more serious stuff there. It doesn't go hand in hand to be physically attractive and to have confidence and self esteem, because unfortunately, what ends up happening is the individuals around you only connect with you on a superficial sense and might actually, your female peer counterparts might view you as a threat and therefore always have a guarded, kind of apprehensive energy around you and may not feel comfortable to fully divulge in the more vulnerable and real authentic side of themselves, or even bring their partner around you because, again, of that whole primitive wanting to protect your home and your partner and your livelihood, and viewing anyone who accentuates their own insecurities as a threat. So there's a lot of layers to the psychology behind physical attractiveness, but now let's talk about what's within the deeper side of beauty. So there are certain personality traits which will either make you perceived to be more attractive or less attractive. For example, recent studies show that individuals with higher IQ, women with higher IQ who speak with a more expansive vocabulary and are more articulate and have more emotional intelligence are perceived to have nicer facial features. Not to mention that also a lot of studies have shown that individuals who display more empathy, more curiosity, more sensitivity, and confidence, like I mentioned, in their body posture, eye contact, nonverbal communication, are also deemed to be more attractive. So if you're trying to do that glow up, here's how to do it from the inside out. So, naturally, how we carry ourselves, our nonverbal communication, our body language, our eye contact, all these things factor into how attractive we are going to be perceived to be. And it's no secret, if someone perceives you to be attractive, then that may be the beginning of a love story. It also can invite more friendships. It also, studies do show, it helps in your career. We're just wired to favor, I'm sure we've all heard about pretty privilege. So statistically, individuals who are both physically, emotionally, and mentally deemed to be more attractive end up having an easier walk of life in a lot of regards. Of course, there's the dark side, like the ones I mentioned socially, where sometimes it'll invite more envy and jealousy if people feel your strengths accentuate their weaknesses. But of course, knowledge is power. And so just kind of taking a look at how others interact with you. And if you think this has ever been a factor that's either hindered or helped you in any facet of your life, it's always helpful to think about that. Also, what we content we consume, how many books we're reading, that'll all just kind of make our personalities develop and give us more emotional depth and really round us out so that we're not just being perceived to be this superficially topical, perhaps attractive person, but not having a lot of substance. There's a lot of individuals who do value intelligence over sheer looks alone. And there's no denying that our society has become very superficial and materialistic. And hopefully, you all take it to be worthwhile to kind of explore every aspect of yourself and to really get into the nitty gritty of the psychology of these kind of things because it can really help you in life. What are your thoughts and feelings? Do you think I missed any points? Have you had these types of experiences yourself? Thank you for watching as usual, and I'll see you next time.